Good morning. Welcome to the cult. We're here to talk about FarmerLand and their upcoming relaunch. Kurt Cobain is here with us. I think he's even going to sing a song for us today, too. Good morning, Kurt.
Hi, everybody. Hello, Tiamat. And hello, DeFi Cult. It's very nice to be here. Unfortunately, I don't have an actual song, but I think my voice is pretty sing-songy enough.
I like it. So, tell us about FarmerLand, my friend.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Basically, FarmerLand is an auction token protocol that is also a P2E game. It's a play-to-earn game. So, you know, we can get past the gloss and basically say that FarmerLand is kind of like a mix between Avarice, which is an auction token protocol, and other auction token protocols like it, and also it contains sort of components like DeFi Kingdoms and Raid Party, which are two pretty successful play-to-earn games. So you can bid in auctions and stake wheat for USDT and wheat dividends, just like you do in another auction token protocol like Avarice. Or, you can purchase NFTs and you can level them up to boost your yield. And you can stake them in two different places. We have stable staking, where you can independently earn USDT plus wheat using your NFTs. And you can also stake them in the field, where you can boost your earnings from your wheat income from the auction. So, we have things that will be familiar to the average person who has done an auction token protocol like Avarice. But we also have sort of the NFT elements. So we have a map here where I can show you. Excuse me.
Right
so
there,
if we go to the barn, we can see where we can mint NFTs. And so, of course, you see these NFTs cost wheat to mint, and these NFTs down here cost NFTs to mint. So you can stake one of each of these in the field. So you see the field has 4 slots, and it only has the possibility of staking one of each kind. And so I just connected my wallet. You saw, and so you can see I have 3 Minotaurs in my wallet. I can actually stake one of them in the field, and then it will show up over here. And then so we actually get a market yield boosting percentage from that when it shows up. And so eventually,
right?
Oh, here, you see it just went up to 14%. So because my Minotaur is now staked in the field, I get 14% extra boost from my market income. And you can do the same thing with FarmerLand and Tool to further multiply your yield boost. I can also stake Minotaurs in the stable. So if I just stake one of these in the stable really quick, I first have to approve, but then, so Arbitrum is very fast. So I'm actually confirming a couple of transactions, and then I've already staked it, you see.
Arbitrum was surprisingly awesome to me, man.
Yeah, Arbitrum is pretty fast. But then, so the front end just has to sort of realize that it's been staked. And then there it is, you see? So it's very fast.
Yeah, the front end can't really keep up with Arby, it seems.
Well,
most projects, not just yours, most.
But it's
RB is
only a
just so
few
fast.
seconds. Yeah, it's a few seconds delay. But you see, so now we have a Minotaur stake. So now you see now that it's in the stable, you see it's going to earn USDT and wheat independently. So, so we have those influxes coming in from the market. And you see, so we actually have, the market hasn't started yet, but there will be a row that appears here in the daily lobbies. And so there will be a number of wheat tokens that appear each day available for auction. And then they'll be split amongst those who bid in the auction. And your yield can go up by a factor of, what you get in the field. And then certain cuts of everything go to the stable NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess basically,
let's step back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's step back a little bit. I think a lot of people, avarice was one of those kind of like lightning in a bottle things. It was one of those weird things that could have blown up, but I think most of the reason I think it didn't work was, most people didn't really understand avarice, to be honest with you. So can we break that down a little bit more? Go a little bit more basic, talk about how the daily auctions work and the max supply that you'll start with and how that'll go over.
Right. So the daily auctions, well, they will start out at 5,000 tokens a day and they'll decrease by 1% each day.
Okay.
And the the sort of rate of decrease
wheat, right?
is faster than in avarice. And yeah, the token is called wheat.
Okay.
So we also do have information about our starting supply at docs.farmerland.gg under tokenomics. So we initially minted 89,000 wheat, but 55,000 of it is actually FarmerLand V1 user balances. We also sent out 10,000 for compensation for negative USDC ROI in V1, which means there were some people who, in the first iteration of FarmerLand, did not make back the USDC they put in. There were some who did, but for those who didn't, we sent out extra wheat. Also, the DAO gets some promotions, and then we actually sort of minted some that is designated as leftover, which will be burned as soon as we confirm that sort of nobody else was entitled to it based on their wheat balance. As soon as we confirm we didn't make any mistakes. And then sort of this 5,000 wheat daily descending by 1% each day is the amount available then in the auction. And then I guess other ways wheat can be minted include sort of referral and also the bonuses.
What's the referral bonus percentage?
So we actually have a referral bonus. Here it's 3% for the referrer and 2% for the referred person. So if you just have anyone referring you at all, you get an extra 2%. The person who referred you gets 3% of your wheat income.
Very cool. So you took avarice and you added some gamification layers to it, pretty much, right? And then where does the hex component come in? I'm trying to understand. I've seen a lot of people equate this to hex. I'm trying to figure out where that comes into play.
So I believe that Hex had like a daily big buy competition that they added. Mm-hmm. And so we actually took that ingredient, which was like the daily big buy competition, which is known in the code as a lottery, but it's not really a lottery. It's actually a big buy competition. And so that was at the suggestion of actually Ray from Bartertown. He actually suggested that to us. And so we actually used that. But also, so I guess One other reason people might compare us to Hex is that sort of, I guess, Hex has sort of an active dev team that kind of sticks together and sort of does the right thing, whereas sort of Avarice actually sort of became mired in toxicity. Like, I guess you gave your analysis of sort of why you felt Avarice didn't work due to lack of user understanding.
That was
and I agree,
one factor.
I agree with that. I agree, but I feel also one other factor was sort of the Avarice team did a bunch of things that were sort of toxic. Like, for example, the team turned against each other. They deleted socials. They did all this, and they finally created a Polygon contract which sent everybody's money to Stable Fund. Which, I mean, for those who might not know what Stable Fund was basically just a Ponzi, which, I mean, I guess they thought they could get stable income from it, but so they basically wrote a contract that got everybody rugged. And so,
I remember
in FarmerLand, user funds that are designated for users do not leave the contract. We have sort of cuts that get taken and then put off to the side for passive income generation, but those funds aren't due to users. So unfortunately, Avarice sort of broke the holy code of, not sending user funds somewhere that they'll disappear.
Right. That's like the first rule of, DeFi. Don't give people my money.
Right.
So now, since you're on that subject, where are the dev fees? Where in the ecosystem are the dev fees?
So let's see. So, well, the dev fees, the DAO share is about 10% of the initial supply of tokens, and so we get that, which we can stake to get a cut of the auction entries. Also, the code gives the dev 5% of the auction entries. So if we go down to the daily auction, we can see 5% goes to dev and infrastructure. So we actually get, so we're incentivized to make this daily auction as high as we can. Also, we have money that we have already set aside for passive income generation, and we get a 20% performance fee of that. And plus, so we also had a pre-sale for V1. So in V1 of FarmerLand, we actually did a pre-sale which gave the devs a salary. So we have basically places where we take X amount. We also have NFT generation. So the NFTs, they cost some wheat, but they also cost some Ethereum. So the devs get actually half of that. Half of it goes towards our passive income generation. So you see, there are several sort of different income streams coming into FarmerLand, and sort of the devs get a piece of it. But also, it's also going towards, dividends going back to the stakers, like, that passive income program. The 80%, the devs get 20%. The 80% goes towards half division between the lobby dividends and the MasterChef dividends, which is the stable staking NFT dividends.
Very cool. Very cool. I want to come back to the dev salaries later on, if you don't mind, because I just have some personal questions on that. Just out of curiosity. But can you elaborate for me on the passive income strategies? Like, most projects launch with, it's the whole Ponzi thing, like waiting for one person to come in, blah, blah, blah. I think lately I've been seeing this wave of projects that are launching with income, income in other projects, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about that wave? And have you guys thought about using some of those, the passive income fees, the passive income dev fees to do something like that? Or would that be a spoiler, sir?
So, well, I guess the whole trend towards passive income is sort of a whole nother can of worms. It's like a big conversation. But so I guess there are many projects who, the long and short of it is, there has been a trend in DeFi, which I believe is a very negative trend, towards many projects saying that they basically generate income for investors using bots, but actually they're just Ponzi's.
Yeah.
And so I know that sort of those projects, like the stable funds of the world, have given really passive income generation a bad name, but it doesn't have to be bad, so I can show you the exact things that we are doing for passive income, which is
Please.
and we're not perfect either. So there are a lot of these passive income opportunities which are good and some are not good, but we've basically done the best we can. And so we have different bots, and we've switched our strategies even in the month we've been going. But sort of this is what we have been doing. We have certain PAMs and bots, and you see we have even one on this list that rugged us. But we had others waiting in the wing, and we filled them in. We logged that loss and all that, and we are up to, actually, let's see. Yeah, this is where we got rugged by FX Master Gold. Yet still, we've been making money steadily every day, a few $100 a day, and we made all that back. And, so we are now up to a cumulative 11.7% gain since we started on January 29th. So that averages out to about 8% per month, even though we got rugged for one of our major accounts. So hopefully, and so we're doing things in the world of Forex, not really crypto. Personally, in terms of, the passive income generation aspect, I think that sort of the Forex aspect, the Forex community has more liquidity in the market, and there are sort of like more established ways of botting with more liquidity in the Forex market. So that's where we're doing passive income generation, and sort of we have, taken some profits back out to, like, for example, we have about $1,400 in profits still already just waiting to go into V2 that we generated. But, it's hard. It's hard out there. We have to work very hard to make sure that this final result is, positive and not negative, because, there are sort of factors acting against you when you try to make money, in any market, really. And one thing that I always tell people is sort of the reality of passive income generation doesn't match the fantasy. And, if there's a project that claims to be offering, 1.5% a day every single day, it's probably a lie, because there are good days and there are bad days. And if there's somebody who claims they can make you money every single day, it's probably just not true.
Right. And I think one of the best arguments I've heard about, the very best argument I think I've heard about against bots and such like that is, why would somebody share that with anybody else? If I have the secret to, gaming the market, why in God's name would I share that with anybody else? I'm going to do it on my own. I'm not going to share.
The funny thing, well, so there are answers to that. I mean, so I have answers to that. So I know, for example, I actually have bots that I have access to that we use that are for sale. So, like, for example, I use one called, we use the Max 99 bot. We have one that's codenamed Euroslut. Which is and I can tell you.
We have to explore the naming conventions you guys have.
there are, and I'm just telling you. So you might not think that people would sell bots, but they do. So there are people who are actually like quite skilled, very good at what they do. I've seen a lot of people try to do things. And these people who make, bots, some of the ones we're using anyway, are quite good at what they do. And yet, I mean, a lot of them are they're either from a country where they can make what is a lot of money to them by selling a bot service. And some people make money that is a lot of money in a place where they live by selling a bot on a market. and you can make your own settings. You can bring your own broker. A lot of these bots are like, not Ponzi's. You can bring them to whatever broker you want and use them there. And then sort of, I've actually seen some of these sort of botting situations, which are actually done by like sort of like scrappy communities and like individual developers who have like their own communities. So, I mean, things are out there, like, and sort of if you know where to look, actually, if you actually know how to scrape data from the internet, you can actually get code for bots off GitHub. There are publicly available codes, and sort of there are sort of like bots that follow the canonical ways of doing things, like sort of, for example, the martingale technique has been a very successful one for very many people, also blown very many accounts. But, so I mean, sort of I think that bots are real generally, but sort of the Ponzi logic that you're talking about really does apply. Like, for example, let's just take the stable fund example is an example where your logic definitely applies. Like, so if a guy could get 1.5% a day on unlimited investment bags, well, of course he's not going to share it with you. And also, so the other thing about bots is sort of the trades can get too crowded. If too many people have access to like the same trade, it can start to affect the market. Like the original person who created the trade might not be able to. So I guess the bot setups that I trust the most are ones where you can bring them to your own broker. So you can get an edge by doing stuff like getting a really fast connection between your VPS and your broker. Like, for example, one trick that I found to get good trades in really fast is I found this one VPS provider that gives me a less than 3 milliseconds ping to the broker I'm using. So I have some trades that are entered in less than 3 milliseconds.
What is a VPS? I don't know.
A virtual private server. So basically, that it'll just keep running when I'm away.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting. Okay.
But anyway, that's the passive income spreadsheet.
Do you plan on investing in any real world products or bringing the money to any other venue outside of Forex?
Yeah. I mean, so we think there is a possibility we could invest in other things, but we have to really scrutinize everything. We have to be really careful. And I know that 99% of what's out there is not good. Like, so I guess in the community, I'm known as someone who is like very skeptical about projects in general, So I think it's going to take a lot to convince me to invest,
Fair enough. Is there a pre-sale or something?
Well, for version 1, there was a pre-sale. And you know what? We concluded that, if we had a contract bug and we have to redeploy and have a V2, I thought that it would be wrong to sort of take another bite at the apple. Like, so, because that would dilute people. And, so what we're doing is for V2, we are not doing a pre-sale, so we are not collecting any more money from the public. We're just giving tokens to the V1 participants, which they earned before, and we are still putting in $36,000 to the first 16 daily lobbies, which is the original commitment that we also made in V1. So basically, we're doubling the amount that we put into the daily lobbies just because we feel so terrible about this bug and restart situation. Basically, we are not collecting money from the public for this extra auction bootstrap. We are just paying it from our organizational funds just because we want this project to get off to the smooth start it deserves. So we are not collecting money from a pre-sale, but we are sort of supporting the protocol as if we had a pre-sale.
So how does someone like me, basically I'll just have to, someone like me that wasn't in version 1 will just have to wait till the launch date and buy at the launch time?
Well, the launch date is very close. So the auctions begin on March 16th at 11 p.m. GMT. So So the launch is upon us, sort of tonight at 11 p.m. GMT. The 15th at 11 p.m. GMT is the date when NFTs can be staked, trained, and minted, and also you can stake wheat. But so the USDT lobby, I guess I have to change that, will open on tomorrow at 11 p.m. GMT. So you don't have to wait very long, but yes, that's your way to get wheat. Also, if you want to, you can mint our NFTs. So as soon as the start date passes, which is 11 p.m. GMT tonight, you will be able to get NFTs via minting. So you can participate pretty soon here. But yeah, the way to get wheat, the main way to get wheat is via the auctions.
Okay, that's simple enough. Let's go back to the NFTs. Can you show me in your DGen protocol? Can you show me the different kind of NFTs again, please? Break them down for me.
Yeah, sure. So we have farmers, tools, land, and minotaurs. So in V1 we had only farmers, tools, and land. But so we had always wanted to have a deflationary NFT mechanic. And so we added minotaurs, and minotaurs cost NFTs to mint, and they have the most powerful stats out of all of the FarmerLand NFTs.
Okay.
So minotaurs cost at least 7 NFTs to mint, but they have like more powerful stats, and they have more allocation points in the stable too.
So those NFTs, so you mint with wheat, and then you use those to stack to build a bigger NFT.
Yes. So then minotaurs are like the ones that you have to sacrifice NFTs to mint.
Okay.
And so so this is just hopefully a massive token sink.
Okay. So, but since it's based on lobby, then the price of those NFTs will vary, depending on the day of the lobby, kind of thing. Obviously. Or am I thinking wrong?
Right. So the prices of the NFTs are in the barn. They are established in wheat and Ethereum. So the price of the NFTs actually depends on the lobby price.
Okay. Give me a rough example. I'm trying to figure out, like, for example, if I wanted to come in with like 1,000, I'm trying to figure out how I would allocate that. Can you,
so
like a basic, not financial advice and all that, but how would you break down like $1,000 into this ecosystem?
Yeah, there are a couple of different strategies. First of all, there's the just staking wheat strategy. So then in V1, I personally went into the FarmerLand pre-sale with $2,000, and I just staked the wheat, and I came out with more than $2,000. So just doing this can be a good choice. So if you just want to forget about all the NFT stuff, you can just get wheat in the auction and then stake it for further dividends. That's all you have to do. So you can play it just like Avarice. So that's strategy 1. Strategy 2 would be to use NFTs just to earn. So if you want to stake in the stable staked NFTs earn wheat and USDT sort of independently. And they're basically, so this Minotaur down here will earn USDT without me doing anything else. So that's basically strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is you can get some NFTs, stake them in the field, like you see, and then so the field can boost your market, your auction income. So now that I have this Minotaur staked, I get 14% extra income when I go into the market and I do the lobby. So that's strategy number 3. So I would say there's 3 main strategies.
Okay. So are these stackable? Like, what's the maximum boost you can get?
In the field, there's only one slot per NFT type. So you have to stake your best Minotaur, best farmer, best land, and best tool. And then the maximum yield boost is 100%. So you can get 2x yield if you have fully upgraded NFTs. So in order to increase the level, you would have to go to the tool shed and then, you know, level up your NFTs. So basically, field NFTs are not stackable. Stable NFTs, however, are. I can stake all these, and I can stake all the Minotaurs I have in the stable if I want. So the stable is designed to accept pretty much unlimited deposit.
Very cool. So, and then there's also an aftermarket for these NFTs, right? So if I don't have the right percentage, can I just go in the aftermarket and just kind of mix and match my NFTs to boost that percentage?
Well, yeah. So there's an aftermarket sort of OpenSea. Well, on OpenSea you can buy and sell them, but also as far as upgrading the NFTs, you can take the NFTs that you mint are basically like diamonds in the rough. They are all minted at level 0. They have basically no experience when you mint them. So if you want them to sort of grow up into powerful NFTs, you can level them up in the tool shed. And, you know, you use this little interface, and you have to spend only wheat to level them up. So also, we do have sort of like actively on our socials, we have people who buy and sell them. So yeah, we do have aftermarket activity.
Yeah, I saw that you mentioned in a previous AMA about an off-the-counter sort of like exchange you're building. I'm super curious about that. Wondered if you could elaborate on that for me.
Yeah, so the OTC exchange is basically, let's see, right here. So if you go to otc.farmerland.gg, this is our OTC contract. It came out with Darkside Finance. And so the OTC exchange basically allows you to buy or sell wheat. So if you're looking to get in and you really don't want to wait for the daily auction, you can also see what deals are available on OTC. And so OTC is basically just peer-to-peer trading. Like, you know, you can offer up your wheat for however much USDT or any other token. And it's actually pretty adaptable. You know, our OTC exchange actually accepts any tokens. So, you know, all it takes is 2 willing parties. They just have to, you know, one has to create the deal and one has to accept it. So this actually avoids the need for an LP pair, which is sort of critical because so in auction tokens, you know, they can have problems when they have standard DEX LP pairs. Just because with supply coming on the market, you know, people can dump them. But sort of with the OTC exchange, it's just people can list deals for whatever price if they want. If they get taken, they get taken. If they don't, they don't. So somebody putting in an OTC deal is not going to hurt, you know, the price on some LP pair somewhere. So we think that this sort of gives us an advantage over all other auction token systems and, you know, sort of creates a general utility as well.
Very cool. And this is just strictly for the wheat. It's not for the NFTs or whatnot. The NFTs will be traded on OpenSea.
Yeah, unfortunately, our OTC contract doesn't support NFTs, but who knows? Well, we can, you know, you can do sort of like NFT deals on OpenSea. You know, you can list them for a price and somebody can buy it from you, or you can transfer it to a wallet.
This OTC feature is actually quite interesting. I think it could be expanded quite a bit. My 2 cents anyways.
Oh yeah, I mean, so it's modeled after like, you know, major trading desks.
Right,
you know,
right.
this
and
model is actually
I guess
place.
It's nothing new, but I guess the decentralized version. I don't think I've seen this yet. I could be wrong.
There's also sort of other competitors, like there's one called Pseudo Swap, and there are some others, but yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
sort of we made our contract ourselves. This is a totally homegrown thing.
Very cool. And the since let's go back to Avarice real quick. You guys, did you fork that contract or is it all new code?
So we actually forked the Avarice BUSD contract, but we made a lot of changes. Like we introduced the daily auction and all the P2E stuff.
Mm.
There has
Part,
never been an auction token that did P2E before.
I think I think you're in a unique position to give me a really cool answer to this. Since you've had quite a few projects, you have a few projects under your belt, and you've been around for you're a veteran basically. What are you looking at Avarice? Apart from the team troubles, blah blah blah, apart from all that, all the drama, what do you think when you were looking at just the mechanics of it? What do you think was their biggest error as far as mechanics goes? And um, what did you learn from it, and how did you? Because it seems to me like you thought about this quite a bit, and I'm curious what you thought could have been better about Avarice, and what did you do here to make it that way?
Well, sort of my big problem with Avarice was that sort of the whole thing just needed something more. It needed more oomph. Like so sort of you would put money in Avarice and then you would stake it, and then there sort of wasn't much else to do. It was like from the user perspective, it sort of got really boring after the initial staking actions. It like because sort of in Avarice there really wasn't much to harvest in the BNB version because loans didn't work until the whole end of your stake. So it might be, 100 days before you got to even do anything again besides just stare at things. So we decided to address that by sort of adding in the NFT P2E elements. So we made it sort of like while your stake is going in the interim, you can be training up your NFTs so that they can get you your big harvest at the end of your stake, because when you get your bonus tokens, you also get the field bonus. Also,
Mm-hmm.
we made loans in V2 have a very short duration. It's instant. So you can sort of harvest as you go in V2, and sort
What do
of
you mean
there's
by that?
more interaction there. People really like to harvest USD. That's what I noticed about people. So we sort of addressed their concerns with the lack of interactivity in Avarice by inserting
Mhm.
just a whole nother world of interactivity.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with DeFi Kingdom either. What did you take from there? I'm
Well,
curious.
sort of this whole system of being able to level up NFTs to level 150, and the fact that each level you gain costs more than the last to level up. And then sort of we join the NFTs together so that they can boost each other's yield so that people are incentivized to get the max stat value they can. And sort of the fact that the sort of basically the whole level training system is very inspired by the original iteration of DeFi Kingdoms, not necessarily what they have now, because sort of I think the V2s of like Wolf Game and DeFi Kingdoms have gotten a lot more complex, and sort of I we are actually going for something that uses a single token. We don't have multiple tokens as far as the fungible tokens. We have multiple NFTs, but sort
I
of
like
the we try to keep it simple somewhat. um
that.
yeah.
That seems like a joke because this was one of the more complicated projects for me to understand.
But if you went to Wolf Game V2 and saw all the different tokens, or some of the other NFT P2E games that have all different tokens, some of them are a lot more complicated. Like, in DeFi Kingdoms now they have quests, and we would like to have like a card game like implementation, but um let's just say DeFi Kingdoms had taken a step in complexity that we are not quite emulating yet. But the NFT training system is just like DeFi Kingdoms V1.
Pretty cool. So usually with games like that, I think I asked that question the wrong way before. There's usually like people that'll just grind to get those NFTs and make the right collection and sell them. Is that something that could evolve in this ecosystem? Is it worth it for somebody to do that?
See, we think that NFTs could become like really desirable in FarmerLand because sort of the new Minotaur set for V2, it costs NFTs to mint. So if all the Minotaurs end up minting out, we will use up like 80% of the other NFTs in the game. So we're hoping that the NFTs become deflationary. And so, yeah, I mean, we're hoping that buying a bunch of them will be a good strategy.
What's tell me the tokenomics of the NFTs while we're on that subject.
We have
the supply of each. Is there?
We have them here. So for farmers, we have 3566 with 1565 minted already. For land, we have 2132 with 432 minted already. And tools, we have 2032 with 532 minted already. And Minotaurs, total set size is 1,000 and 420 are minted already.
420, I like it. And sorry. I was hoping to see your shit token, either your shit NFT. What happened to that?
The poop one?
Yeah, what happened
I think
to
we
that?
have,
Did you retire it?
No. The poop NFTs are a level 2 tool. Yeah, okay, here, there's one right here. So the tool portraits included 4 different levels, and they're sort of humorous. Like the level 1s are like can be like really shitty, like a can of beans. But then the level poop is a level 2 actually, out of 4. So there are 4 quality levels of tools. The shit is level 2 because I mean it's better than a can of beans.
Mm-hmm. So where does the layer 2 come in? The level 2 NFTs come in one time.
Level 2. Well, so leveling up is just gaining experience in the tool shed, raising their stat.
No. What I'm confused. Never mind. Let me go back. You had the Minotaurs and the land and those NFTs. Where does this shit come in? Is that what you use to train those other NFTs? Oh
no, this is just a portrait for one of the NFTs. So if you mint a tool, you could randomly get the shit NFT.
Oh, okay. I got lost there somewhere.
That's actually the JPEG associated with the NFT itself.
Does it morph? Do they change based on experience? Or does
no, we don't actually change the pictures when they level up, although maybe in the future.
Yeah, I could see that you could add some flies.
Right, we could.
I'm sorry. I was just watching that, and I've been dying to ask about that. That's what, being an adult is weird in crypto.
Whee!
Okay. So tell us about the team. I don't think I've asked about that. Tell us about your team. I know you guys are quite experienced.
So we actually have a team page on our docs. And so, yeah, I mean, we are from the US and UK, and we actually have, there's me and Wojak as basically the 2 principals, and we have Kyoko, Chad, and Gandalf as, basically part-timers. And we have a community management staff. Like we have a professional community manager named Guy, and we have lots of community shillers. As far as the team, we've released about 10 projects, yield farms, rebase DAOs, 1 algo stable, and, some D apps that don't have their own token. Also, we have released other NFT series before. So yeah, that's basically us. I mean, we're pretty much one of the most transparent teams, in community DeFi. it's much more, I think it's much safer to invest with us than other people, as a lot of other teams just really don't have the staying power. Some of them will just disappear. We've been around the block a few times, and so, we aren't going to run off with your pre-sale funds. So that's us.
There's a lot to be said about being consistent in this industry.
Right. We just keep showing up.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. I like that you guys are trying different things to see what works. And it seems like you're doing quite a bit of research before you do that, instead of just throwing, things at the wall, so to speak.
Well, yeah. I mean, so that's one of my main jobs is, doing market research and seeing what people, will be into and want.
Okay, don't show off now, sir.
Oh, sorry. No, but anyway, I mean, so did you want to ask, a couple other things and then do questions, or
yes.
Should we? Okay.
Yes, I got a couple more of my own, and then we'll move on to the crowd.
Sure.
After that, say what? Did I lose you?
Sure.
Okay.
I was just saying sure.
Okay, I'm gonna unpause the room in a little bit, and people can send last-minute questions, and I'll pause it back again.
Okay.
We can go from there. I've got a bunch of. I'm also going through the ones in my DM. I'm going to forward them to the room as well.
Okay.
And if you want to answer those, you can.
I do have to go at 1, but I would love to get as many in as possible.
Okay. Tell me about the DAO. I think that's my last question.
The DAO? What do you mean by the DAO?
You say you have. You said there's a DAO. Is this something where there'll be community votes and so on? Blah blah blah. Right.
So the FarmerLand DAO is basically sort of the organization. So as the FarmerLand DAO, I run the passive investment program. And, so the DAO also gets certain token supplies. So then the DAO will stake those token supplies and, we will earn from it. That money will go to the passive investment program, which we will then use to earn more. So, the DAO also has sort of some. Honestly, the FarmerLand DAO doesn't really have much central funding anymore because we're really committing it all to, the additional auction bootstrapping. We're really putting the cash that we took for FarmerLand back into FarmerLand. But, we still do DAO operations as far as, earning passive income. And also, yes, if there is ever a governance question that we feel the public really deserves and has a voice in, then we can set up Snapshot and we can actually do governance voting with Wheat as well. Really, any token can be used for governance.
Very cool.
Just on snapshot.org.
Well, so it's there, it's just not fully.
Oh, I mean, there's the possibility of using Wheat for governance. Yeah, I mean, it's just that, we would have to have some real reason to.
Okay, and first question from the crowd, from Ron.
Okay.
What was wrong with the V1 and what did you do to fix it?
Right. So in V1, there was a bug that allowed users to get extra Wheat when they staked NFTs when they staked Wheat for short periods. So when people staked Wheat, they would get bonus tokens based on the staked amount, not the bonus amount. So we actually gave the whole amount that people staked plus bonus tokens to them. So there was basically just an error in the way that Wheat bonus tokens were calculated. And so it was going to allow people to multiply their Wheat excessively. And so we caught it. So you had to wait, the staking period was at least 1 day. So we caught this before people did too much with it. And we just stopped the protocol because so people could get lots of extra Wheat. They could multiply their Wheat by at least 2 by staking for just 1 day. And so that was not going to work long term. And so we just told people, stop depositing. We're gonna get a new audit and we're gonna re-release. So we sent everyone their stuff on Arbitrum, And we got an audit for the new fixed code from PeckShield. So we are 100% sure that the new code is good and fixed because we got a PeckShield audit, and we also really improved our in-house testing. So we are sure that we don't have the same sort of excessive wheat harvest bug that made us stop the first time.
Okay. Good answer. A couple of questions in the room if you want to pick and choose. I don't know if you can see it. In the Telegram room.
Oh, in a cult?
Yes. If you can't see it, I'll just read them to you.
Yeah, you can definitely pick one.
Okay. All right.
I can't see any.
Why why Arbitrum?
Oh, well, sort of, there are two reasons. First of all, sort of Arbitrum has a lot of hype right now. A lot of people have been talking about it, bridging over there, investing there. So there are lots of apes on Arbitrum. So we believe that projects on Arbitrum tend to do very well right now. Number two, Polygon, where we were before, is just terrible. So we had just server problems, RPC problems, subgraph problems, MetaMask wallet issue problems with Polygon. And we didn't have that level of problems with any other blockchain. It's like Polygon needs to get its house in order, in our opinion. I guess the Matic blockchain was giving us lots of problems.
I keep having the same conversation with people about Poly, and they keep telling me to change my mind. What do you think, Frack? Can you explain? 1 second. These questions. Most of these questions you guys are asking, we've answered. 1 second.
It's totally fine.
You guys are being silly. Tell me what else you think we should know in the meantime. I'll find you a good question, sir.
What else you should know? Well, once again, just in case you would like to join us, https farmerland.gg. You can see you can see it right there on my screen. Also, our daily auctions begin in the wheat market. So once you go into the farmerland.gg, once you enter app, click the market, and then you'll go straight to the lobby. So then at 11 p.m. GMT on March 16th, you'll be able to enter USDT here to get wheat in the daily auction. Also, you can go back to the map and go to the barn to mint yourself some FarmerLand NFTs. So those are the sort of action points. The NFTs are available at 11 p.m. GMT tonight. And also, the OTC we showed, that'll be going shortly as well.
Very cool. I've got another question for you. So this is from Vina, will the $36,000 house auction contribution count towards the King of the Farm competition? In V1, it did not, but the total still appeared on the amount to beat. Was this correct in V2?
So the house is not going to be able to win the V1 auction competition. So if we do, we will return the funds. So sort of technically, according to the contract, the house can win the daily big buyer auction competition, but sort of we don't have to collect it. We can contribute the funds back to sort of the next real user who wins, and so that's what we're going to do.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any fiat? Have you any work towards making the fiat on ramping easier for people?
Not us, unfortunately. So we were thinking that we might actually do that when we release Janus, which is our upcoming DEX, but we honestly haven't really had time to work on anything fiat on ramp related yet. It's on our list to do for Janus.
Janus? What the heck is Janus?
We're coming out with a DEX called Janus, Janus Capital Group, and that is going to be on Ethereum network, and we may look into getting some fiat on-ramp action going there.
Very cool. That makes me think of the Jetsons. That's Alice. No, Alice. Never mind.
It's a play on Janis Joplin.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah.
I like it.
But anyway, sort of, is there maybe like one more quick one to wrap up, or?
I don't see anything.
Okay. That's cool. Well, but anyway, then I guess I will take off then. But thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Nice to visit the DeFi cult.
Thank you for being here, sir. I understand everything. Thank you for taking the time. Hope to see you again.
Oh yeah, and again, nice to talk to you. Hope to do it again soon.
No problem. I'll be. You can take off. I'll finish the giveaway and.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you, sir.